Now, I want to talk to
Is
you
this the
about
period
this.
drama joke you were making, Darren? Was it?
Yes, it is my period drama joke. Yes, this is the period drama that we're talking about. Now, this is from the Times. Lawyer sued after saying only women have periods. This woman is Elspeth Wrigley, who shared gender-critical statements via DEFRA. Now, DEFRA is the Department for Food and Food and Rural Affairs, even. I'm still on Ofcom. Food and Rural Affairs. And a lawyer and the government's department she works with are being sued after she made gender critical statements at work, including expressing the belief that only women menstruate, so only women have periods. Now, Elspeth works at an arm's length body that's actually affiliated to the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, as I mentioned, and she's the chairwoman of a civil service network that represents staff with gender critical views. Now, she was a signatory to an explosive letter sent in October to the Cabinet Secretary, warning that the impartiality of the civil service was under threat because anyone with gender critical views was openly and unlawfully bullied and harassed. Now, that's really strong language, and it's a confidential letter that was sent and it's been leaked. Now, it seems to me that the trans inquisition is very much on the march. They're feeling that they were on the front foot. This has been very pervasive. It's been everywhere, and no longer is that the case. They're not content with bullying people on Twitter anymore. They're now going after anyone who dares to actually question their dogma, right, from Canada to Britain. And I just want to quickly, just to set out the stall, talk about this story. Now, this is Unheard, which is a good blog that you should all read. But as you can see at the bottom, I haven't actually subscribed to it, which is a bit awkward. But this is Unheard nonetheless. And it says, will the nurse who supported J.K. Rowling, the Harry Potter author, of course, see justice? Now, this is Amy Ham, a Canadian nurse. And yesterday was the final day of hearings into a disciplinary case against her, which has dragged on for 18 months. It's been a nightmare for her, obviously. The punishment is often way worse than anything that they can actually do. The trial is way worse than the punishment, they can give to you. But it's also a test case of how Canada is prepared to go to enforce an authoritarian ideology on women. It has nothing to do with how she does her job. The British Columbia College of Nurses and Midwives opened an investigation after just 2 people complained that she was one of the sponsors of a billboard praising the author J.K. Rowling in 2020. The author of this piece says, this is heresy in Canada, where transgender ideology enjoys the status of Holy Writ and Rowling is regarded as chief witch. Now, that is absolutely right. The regulator going at her like a pack of rabid beavers, producing this. It was a 332-page report that might as well have been labelled The Heretic's Guide to Wrongthink. Now, these 2 stories, they might well appear to be completely, people in the comments are already saying things like, this is complete nonsense. What are you talking about this for? How ridiculous. But this stuff matters because this is a woman who's associated with the civil service, supposedly impartial civil service, who should be ensuring that the country is running as efficiently and effectively as possible, actually unable to say that women are the only ones that have periods. And then in Canada, under Justin Trudeau, and we're about to get a woke government just like Canada has endured since 2016, actually saying that she supported J.K. Rowling on a billboard and therefore has to lose her job. This is more serious than it might first appear. Would you
Yeah,
agree with that?
this is a total dystopian nightmare, and Scotland is becoming our Canada in the UK. If you see
Yeah.
the laws that the SNP are pumping out over there, it's absolutely terrifying. We're going to get to a point where the Labour Party just last week blocked Liz Truss's bill on basically protecting women and young and saying that, look, a man is a man. You should be allowed in a free society. If you are so-called anti-fascist and the left-wing anti-fascist, you should be allowed to call something whatever you like, and particularly, especially if it's a fucking fact. Excuse my language. I'm so sorry. Especially if it's a fact. And it is a fact that a man is a man and only women can menstruate. And these aren't things that should be censored or should be legislated against, frankly. We've got to a point now where particularly for the LGBTQ plus XYZ group, that you're going to get a series of people that have privilege. That's not equality. There is a difference between equality and privilege. And someone's allowed to come up to me in the street and call me a woman, and because I'm not trans, that's not illegal. But I'm misgendering a straight person, a white person, sorry. And but if you are trans, you'll be able to get you'll be able to go take someone to prison and take them to court for it and take all their money off them. J.K. Rowling is attacked every day. In fact, she's been on Twitter today. Someone's been targeting the wrong woman. A trans account has been doxing a woman in Portugal, saying that this is J.K. Rowling's daughter. And J.K. Rowling saying, that's not my daughter. You're doxing someone in a foreign country. And she's now going to take them to court over it. Because this is the kind of dangerous ideology. This is the kind of dangerous thought that this line of thought this place takes us. It's scary.
Yeah, Chloe, before you respond to that, I'm just going to read out some comments. Time Lord says trans holidays to Gaza next. that would work. Although, incidentally, as it happens, Iran do like transing people because they would prefer that over a gay outcome. But hey ho, that's another conversation for another day. Time Lord also says we need to laugh at these woke clowns. And in Scotland, Slim is talking about dumbs are useless. So I assume that's hums are useless.
So speaking of dumbs are useless, if you go back to the Unheard article and scroll down to there's a paragraph about SNP policy that I think was quite shocking that we should read out. So the paragraph beginning with of course.
Of course.
This one here.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, of course, there is. It's a simple statement of fact, yet the Canadian government is proposing legislation that includes a power to arrest someone who might commit a hate crime in future, forcing them to wear an electronic tag or remain at home. The prospect of a future Amy Ham being placed under house arrest in Canada may seem outlandish, but trans activists in Scotland who are salivating over the prospect of using the hate crime law that comes into effect on 1st of April to target Rowling must be looking on with envy.